Hello everybody. In the previous video we saw the basics of linked list. Why do we need a linked list and how to create a linked list and how to create a node and give it a value and the link. In this video we will start with the insertion operator. So as you can see, insertion operator has three variations. We can insert a node at the end, at the beginning of the list, and at any given position. So first of all, if you don't know how to create a node and all this, you can watch my previous video in the same playlist. Now let us see how we will add a node at the end. For end, suppose this is our linked list at the moment and we want to add a list over here. Right now it is pointing to null. Node 4 is pointing, the node with the value 4 is pointing to null, and I want to add another node with the value 5. So what we will do, we will create another node and we will add the value 5 to it, and it will point to null. Now to reach here, as you know, we are always given with the head of the linked list. We have access to this head only. What we will do, we will traverse through our linked list. From node 1 we will go to node 2, then we will go to node 3, then we will go to node 4. As we see that node 4 next is null, so we know that this is our last node. So what we will do, we will point this node 4 next toward this node temp. Okay, and in the end we will get a result as something like this: node 1, node with 1 value, then with value 2, then value 3, then node with value 4, and node with value 5, and now this one is pointing to null, right? So how we will traverse? First of all, for traversal, suppose this is our head, we will take another node, suppose ptr. Now we will traverse while ptr next not equal to null. We will do ptr equals to ptr next. So at the moment ptr is here at the node which is pointing to head. Here is our ptr. Okay, we run into this while loop. We said, or we saw that ptr next is not equal to null, it is equal to this node. So my ptr goes to this position, ptr next. Now again this condition is true, ptr goes here. Now again ptr goes here, again ptr goes here. At this moment it sees, while now at the next iteration ptr's next is null. So we will come out of this loop, and whatever our new node with value 6 which is pointing to null, temp node, so ptr next will point to temp, and that's all for adding a value at the end. Now at the beginning, suppose this is our linked list, this is our head. So we created another node temp with the value 4. So now what we have to do, as we want to insert this value 4 of this node temp at the beginning, then at the beginning it should be the head. So what we have to do, we have to make this temp the head of this linked list. But before I make this a head, if I just make it head right away, then I'll not have access to this linked list. So what I'll do, first of all I'll take the link part of this temp node and it will point to my head. Now I will make it my head. Now my temp is equal to my head, so head equals to temp. Now this is my new head. Okay, that is what we will do. We will just, for the beginning we will just create a node and we will just say temp next equals to head and head equals to temp. Now for the next part, that is at any position or at nth position, suppose my n is 3 and this is my linked list 1 2 3 and 4 and it is pointing to null, right? It is just a little bit variation of the first part. So how we will do this, suppose I want to insert at position number 3. So this is my position 1, this is my position 2, this is my position 3. I want a new node here, and my this node will be the fourth position after inserting. So what I will do, I will start from here. This is the head. I will start from here. I'll traverse up to n minus 1th position, that is this position, and I have another node temp with the value 5. At this moment it is pointing to null at the start. When I'll reach this, what I'll do, I'll just break the link between these two and point it to this. But before that, what I have to do, if I just break this link and point it to this, then I can't access the remaining linked list. So before breaking this link, I will point this link to this. Suppose this is str, so this is at the moment it is str, so I'll point temp next to str. Okay, now it is pointing to this. Let me just clear it a little bit. Okay, so now this is pointing to this. Now I have access to this, and I'll just do str next equals to temp, and that is all. So in these three easy ways, I can insert a node into the linked list. Now we will code it real quick. I'll make 3 functions and let's see how they work. So for adding the value at the last, I have written this small function add node last. I'll change it, add node last. So what I'll go through this for loop. I'll add 5 values, and each time the value will be, first time the value will be 10 into I, that is 10 into 1 10, then 20, then 30, then 14, then 50. Okay, so I will be adding to the last. Now, so first of all, I'll create a temporary node temp, and I'll give temp the data which is equal to val, and my temp next pointer will be pointing to null. Now I'll create another node which will be equal to my head, and I'll check the condition. If ptr next not equal to null, I'll follow through, and I'll do ptr equals to ptr next, and when I'll come out of this loop, what I'll do ptr next equals to 10. So let us see whether this works fine for our. Okay, it ran, but we got a warning. Let me see. Okay, unused variable n. I'll give head a value, head data equals to 0. I'll start from 0, and head next equals to null. Now let us run this real quick. Okay, we are not displaying it at the moment, so let me just write a print function. Print head void print node star head node star temp equals to head, while temp not equals to null. Cout temps data temp equals to temp next, and I'll add a line like this here and NL, so I can separate my other output. Now let us see what we get. So we get something like this. Okay, so this is add at end. Now what we will do, we will write another function that will be add at the start. So add at start, I'll pass the head, and now I'll pass the value I want to add. So I want to add 100. Now let me write void add at and start, add at start, yeah, node star head int val. I'll create another node star temp equals to new node, and node temp value will be equal to, sorry, temp data will be equal to val. And now what I'll do, my temp next will point to head, and my head equals to temp. Now like again use a print function, I'll pass head. Now for my add position, I'll pass the head, the value I'll pass is 200 and the position is third, let us suppose. And after that I'll just write another print function, print method I'll call it. Now let me write another void add at, not start but it was pos, add at pos node star head int value int position. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll create a temporary node again, node start temp, which is equal to new node. I'll insert the value into my temp data equals to val, and at the moment temp next equals to none. What I'll do, I'll take another node, variable node star ptr equals to head, while and so for position I want to go to third position. So what I'll do, while n is greater than 1, I'll do ptr equals to ptr next and n minus minus. Now I've reached at the position. Now what I'll do, temp next equals to ptr next, and ptr next equals to temp. We are doing this thing here, we are just reaching this position, assigning its link to the strs next, and then breaking this link and coming here. Now let us run all of these with n was not declared in the scope. Okay, it is position, cool, and position minus minus. Now let's run. So let us see what we get. So for the first we will get 0, then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So for the first we got 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now for the next one, add at start head 0, we didn't got the exact, and for the end at any position it's all right. Now let us just rectify this add at start. So I have rectified my mistake. So what I have done, I have passed it as a reference here at the start and taken it as a pointer to a pointer, and here I have added the address, it is pointing to the address. And now when I run it, as you can see, it is running exactly fine. For the first we expect a 0, 10, 20, 30, 40. For the next we expect a 100 at the start, 100, 0, 10, 20, 30, and then at the position number third we expect a 200, 100. So that was a little bit mistake. I had to add a double pointer here and pass it as a reference. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching the video, and do hit the subscribe button.